Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. I'm here with my co-host and wife, Betsy.
Yeah!
It's number 2 on our probably Oscar list today. I don't know why we decided to do two Wednesdays in a row, but hey, it's all available, so we're doing it.
That's why we decided, because they're available.
It's available, and there have been times in the past where we kind of thought something was going to get nominated, and it was available on one of the streaming services, and then it went away, and we had to pay $20 to rent it. I don't want to do that again, so today we're going to watch The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah,
Betsy,
we are.
I am really excited about this one.
As you should be, because everybody I know who has watched this has put it like at the top of their list.
This has been out for quite a while.
A couple months.
And it's still got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hell yeah.
It is incredible how well this has held up. So, Betsy, what do you know about it?
So the reason we watched In Bruges recently was because the same writer-director wrote and directed this movie.
Also starring the same 2 main actors.
Yes, so Martin McDonagh wrote the screenplay and directed the movie.
Yep.
And the 2 leads are Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell.
Indeed.
I also know that Barry Keoghan is in this, the guy who was in the Eternals.
Yeah.
Yep, so he's in this.
I saw his name and I saw his face.
And I think everybody else is probably just some random Irish or English actor. I'm going to go with probably Irish that I've seen in something once upon a time.
Betsy, we might have to turn on subtitles.
We'll see. We'll see just how powerful the accents are.
Because if they're in Ireland, then yeah.
It's going to draw it out more, certainly.
Indeed.
So I know that's the creative force, if you will, in this movie. As far as the content that we are about to experience, all I really know is from what's in the trailer, where these 2 guys are friends, have been friends for a long time, and then one day Brendan Gleeson says to Colin Farrell, I don't like you anymore, stay the fuck away from me. And I don't know why, and he's deadly serious to the point he says, I will chop off my fingers and mail them to you every time you speak to me. Which is a really dark, Irish sort of twisted way of thinking.
Yes, and if you haven't gone back and listened to that episode, and if you haven't watched In Bruges, go do it. It was really great. I hadn't seen it, and we did that because we wanted to try to at least have me have an idea of what the tone of a movie might be with these 3 people working on it. But we did that like a month or 2 ago, so go back and listen to that one. I don't remember the episode number. But this one, like you said, we watched one trailer for this a while ago. This probably 2 or 3 months ago at least. So I think this is on an island, and I think Inisherin is like an island off of the mainland of Ireland.
It's either going to be
it's kind of a small group, I think.
Right. It's an island, a county, a town, or it is none of the above. It's actually something else, and The Banshees of Inisherin is the name of a fable or a tall tale or a story that is somehow included and interwoven into this.
Or it's a state of being.
A state of being. The Banjos of Ed Sheeran.
I really hope he doesn't put an album out with just banjo, because he'll probably do it if you say it.
Close enough.
He puts out enough music. Anyway, we're not talking about Ed Sheeran today. Betsy, I don't really know much else than that. I'm hoping what they're really trying to do here is cover what happens when you are very much an adult, like these men are, and cover what happens when you grow apart from your friends over the years, and like people grow, people move on, but sometimes you just don't leave, but then you decide, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I'm gonna ghost you, but in a friend way. That means I'm just not going to call you or text you or say hi to you if I see you at the market.
Except I don't think it's as congenial as that. My understanding is it's a little more, I'm dumping you.
Yeah.
You have been dumped. But it's going to be in a very dark, weird, funny Irish way. My understanding is this is comedy.
It is a comedy, yes. But in the same way that In Bruges was a comedy, like there's a lot of things to laugh at, but none of it is played for laughs. Like, there are very, very serious moments in Bruges. I completely expect there's going to be a lot of, like, introspective, like, what is wrong with me? What did I do? What could I have ever done in my life to make him do this to me? And blaming himself and having all these conflicts.
And we, the viewer, are really uncomfortable, but we're laughing and don't know why.
Exactly. So, again, this movie is way up there when it comes to, like, the odds of it being...
Front runner.
Right, completely front runner. Like, it was down probably... Like, we look at this variety site that ranks them as where they think it's going to land. It was down in, like, the 15s down to 20, and now it's number 1.
It's climbed the charts.
Yes. So, as other things have been actually released and people are actually able to see them... The buzz is this one might be the winner. So we'll see. We're going to go and watch The Banshees of Inisherin on HBO Max. We'll be right back. And we are back. Betsy, that was Banshees of Inisherin. What did you think of that one?
Well, isn't that just the feel-good movie of the year? I think I totally get why people are putting this high on their list. I also think this movie is not for everyone. Where we talked many months ago about Top Gun Maverick, that's like your dad's movie and you could take the whole family and everything's gonna be hunky-dory.
Yeah, it's a great fun time, great bombast.
I'm never showing my mother this movie. I don't think she would like this at all. My dad would think it was too weird. You and I think, are the right demographic because we like weird movies.
It's not weird, though.
It is, and it isn't. Like, it is definitely out there thematically. It's just not going to be for everybody. Like, you have to have a very niche sense of humor and sense of movie style preference to like this. Which I think a lot of people will.
Well, I liked it.
I did too. All this to say, I liked this movie. I'm just saying, when it comes to the overall Oscar contenders, oh yeah, this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
But as a movie, what did you think of it front to back here?
Listen, there is a lot of great acting in this. There is for fuck's sake, the cinematography alone in this movie, this is like a gorgeous, natural light, beautiful landscapes. There's a lot of stuff they did with color and symbolism and metaphor. So this is a thought out movie. There's a lot of like parallel things going on with the Irish Civil War happening over on the mainland while they have their own civil war going on this little island.
I see what you're doing.
So this is a layered, well thought out, considered movie.
Yeah. And I am on the side where I can see why there's a lot of conversations about this movie, but we've still not heard anything about it. Like, nobody's out there talking about, oh, this movie's going to be the winner because of XYZ. Whereas we've heard other people talk about some of the other possible candidates.
The reasons they would put other movies forward.
Yeah, and like, this is an extremely low-key, beautifully shot, well-acted movie, but it's dealing with an issue and people that you're not used to seeing on film and not really discussed.
And it's the kind of movie where there are some very extreme things happening, but everybody is wrong and everybody is right at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in this movie, for the most part, I should say, has a point. They just take it to a great extreme.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to really talk about this movie because from a character standpoint, you don't really get a lot of setup.
Like who they are before this all began.
Exactly. We don't have any like it starts immediately with him going to Brendan Gleeson's house at their normal 2:00 time to let him know it's 2:00, even though he has a clock in his house that tells him it's 2:00 and it's time for drinking. From right there, you get the introduction of the conflict. And normally, you get to know some characters first. Normally, you get some exposition. You get none of that in this movie.
No, your exposition is he knocked on the door and he's clearly home, but he didn't answer the door.
Yeah.
And why is that? And of course, he goes home first, and his sister, being the most interesting, perceptive person on this entire island, she says, maybe he doesn't like you anymore. She just gets right to the point.
She says it with a smile on her face because
she's
she's
a joke.
Yeah, she's joking.
But she also got right to the point. She figured it out immediately. That's it.
Right.
It's not that difficult.
And really, the sister is the straight man of this entire thing.
She's the one trying to talk sense into everybody.
She's the reasonable one. She's the one who is just trying to mend fences, so to speak. But then she also realizes by the end, oh, there's no repairing this. Clearly, the man is done with you, so you need to figure out a way to move on. You're a big boy, you need to figure it out. But that's the thing. He's not a big boy. He's never really had to grow up and be by himself.
So yeah, you've got Colin Farrell's character, Pádraig.
Yeah.
And that's how they say it. It's spelled very differently. They're very Celtic. Pádraig Suliwan, which is
Suliwan, which is Sullivan.
Give or take.
Uh-huh.
So you've got him who's just, like you said, kind of a man boy, where he grew up with parents. His parents died
8 years ago.
His sister basically took on the role of taking care of him.
She cooks and cleans and does all the things that the parents would have done.
And fights his fights when he's too chicken shit to do it.
Right. Everybody goes to her whenever he gets too drunk and is about to go off on people.
Yep, she's the one there to intervene. And he's just this, like, farmer, and he has a couple of goats, and he has some cows.
Yeah.
And he shoes his cows to graze in the morning, and then he shoes them back, and then he goes and drinks, and that's his life.
Everybody lives a very simple life. This is 1923. Mm-hmm. They say it in the movie. We kind of figured it out because, okay, there's a civil war going on the mainland. What is going on in Ireland during this time? We looked it up. It started in 1922.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I figured from the costumes and the technology, this was early 1900s.
So yeah, a very simple life. This is a small island.
It's an island.
Yeah.
You have no choice but to live a simple life.
You can literally walk from one end of the island to the other in a
day.
very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of have to have a simple life in that time, no matter where you are. But in this case, I mean, in other more modern places, there's electricity, there are automobiles, but you don't have that on an island.
No, so you've got him, then you've got Colm, who is his best friend, who just woke up one day and decided life is short and you're boring.
Yeah.
That is what, like, I'm glad we got the explanation fairly quickly. Like, it isn't just, I don't like you anymore. It's, I am dealing with despair. Like, he never says it to him. Mm-hmm. He only tells his priest in confession that he is depressed.
Yeah, because his priest asks him, how goes the despair?
Yeah, and he has good days and he has bad days. So there's kind of seeds of understanding why he is doing this. And he basically says, I don't want to wake up and my life has been wasted and I have nothing to show for it. Yeah. And you are boring me to tears. You're a dull man who talks endlessly and I'm sick of it.
And
so leave me alone.
And Pork is a much younger man who has a lot of time to be frittering it away.
To do nothing.
To do nothing and just talk and talk and talk and talk about nothing.
Because he's just a nice guy.
Right. And he has had this epiphany that, you know what, the things that are actually important in life, the things that matter
to me
and in the world, like you being a good, nice person really means nothing. It does not amount to a hill of beans. The only people who are ever going to remember you are one generation above and below you, and that's it. You're never going to amount to anything. And the things that actually do transcend are the things that he's interested in.
Music and art and literature.
Music, art, and poetry. So he has taken it upon himself to spend the rest of his life, however long that's going to be, to committing to this passion, whatever it happens to be.
To leave something behind, as opposed to sitting here shooting the shit with you and wasting my life.
Yeah. And it's like he has just transcended the relationship that he had with Porrick.
Yeah, he outgrew it. He never, they say it, like the guys behind the bar address it. They're like, you're an odd couple. You don't really make sense together.
Sure.
And now all of that is just coming to a head.
Yeah, and
you have to be friends with somebody on an island.
Sure, and I don't agree with the term he outgrew it. I go back to what I said. He is transcendent of this bullshit. And it's not to say that bullshit is a terrible thing. You can bullshit with people all the livelong day and have a great time. But this man is over it. He can no longer tolerate this inane bullshit. And I can respect that. I am a type of person who is not much for small talk. I don't have time for such things in my normal course of life. I'll do it. But I'm the person that is like, geez, can we just get on with it? Can you just give me my receipt and I can get out of here? You don't need, like, Betsy and I are a little bit different in this case. Betsy will talk to the waiter or the waitress about most inane things.
I am my father's daughter.
You
can't
really
help
are.
it.
You really are. You will strike up a conversation with the most random person, and I couldn't give a shit. I want to get the fuck on my way.
There's a difference between being polite and making small talk and just, getting to the point and getting out of there. And there's definitely two types of people in the world, and these are the two types of people in this movie.
Yes.
But there is a stroke of brilliance setting it in this time and place because, like I said, when you're on an island, your choices are limited.
Yeah.
This is probably a time where everybody was born here and they died here and they never left.
Yeah.
12 people. You've known them since you were born, and those are your friends.
The concept of, the mainland and the rest of the world to someone in 1922 is a big concept in general. But for somebody who has probably never left that island, even going to the mainland seems like this overwhelming, it's so big. No, it's really not. It's just across the water. You can see it from there. You can comprehend how big that might be.
They can literally see the cannon fire.
Right, they can
from
hear
the war
they can
happening.
See it. They can see the explosions happening in the background from the Civil War happening in their backyard, basically.
And there's some great, there's at least one great conversation where the cop is talking about, it was so much easier when we were all just one team and we used to fight the English.
Yeah, we were only killing English. It was fine.
Now we're fighting each other. It's much more confusing.
And he's inviting Colm to come over and come witness some executions.
Watch an execution.
He's being paid a bunch of money, I guess, to come and supervise because he's a lawman.
I didn't really understand it. All I know is they're paying his transportation and he's getting lunch. And he's like, for that, why wouldn't I go?
Right. It's like going to a show. It's entertainment. Again, we've talked about it on this podcast before. Executions used to be entertainment for the rabble. It's barbaric, but that's all they know.
And it's what you did for fun. Maybe not in 1922 as much, 1923, but it's interesting that because these guys are on this island, they sort of don't have a side. They're not invested in the fact that there's a war going on in their country.
The cop even says, I don't even know what side it's for. I guess it doesn't matter.
No, they're not on a side. They're just Irish. They're just on this island of Inisherin, and that's what they know.
And that's the thing. They don't really have any conflict on that island. Everybody just has their little routine.
No, you've got
until one guy decides, I'm over it.
And you've got the little busybody woman on the other side of the island who's just desperate for news. What's the news?
Right.
Nothing's going on in this fucking island and I can't stand it.
Excuse me, Betsy. Fecking.
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 Someone get the feck count. Who else have you got? So you've got also his sister, we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
So Siobhan is taking care of her brother. She has just taken on this role. Like, when they have Dominic over, he just point blank asks her why she never got married. And she, of course, does the polite thing, which is, you have no fucking right to ask me that. When in reality, the answer is probably because of this schmuck.
He's sitting right over here, but I can't say anything about it because... Yeah, if our parents didn't die, we don't have no idea what happened there. They never say it.
They died. We just know that.
Yeah, they just died. If it wasn't for them dying and me having to take care of his ass, I would have been gone long ago because she seems to be, like, highly intelligent. She's a
likes
reader.
Books, yes.
Yeah, she says the only thing that really matters to her in her life that she values are her books, and she can't bring them.
Yeah.
She has to leave them behind.
Please take care of them. I don't have enough room to take them with me.
And she's going to work in a library on the mainland.
Which she has clearly been putting out inquiries for a while.
Yeah.
And this is just the catalyst for her to be like, fuck all of you boring, stupid people. Like, she even calls Colin out. Like, he's dull. You're all fucking dull. I'm so sick of all of you men thinking everything you say is so interesting and important on this island.
Right. Why do you think I never married any of you fuckers?
You're all exactly the same. And she's just really interesting because, you know, whenever she's on the screen, is the center of attention. She's wearing bright colors like yellow and red.
Always red.
And yellow. She wears a fucking yellow coat with a red scarf.
Yeah, she leaves with yellow, yeah.
So she is this vibrant, interesting person. Also, by the way, did you notice that that is the woman who does the voice of Friday in Spider-Man?
No.
Yeah.
Why would I know that?
I was like, gosh, this woman seems familiar, and I looked it up. That's why. She's the voice in his suit when he asks
After Jarvis is gone.
Yes, after Jarvis is gone, this is the woman who voices that character.
All right.
But yeah, she's just there and clearly the most out of place person, but she's there for her brother.
Yeah.
And he is... Like, she keeps saying, you're not dull, but... And she never finishes the thought.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things she could finish the thought with.
But that's the thing. Can you really blame anybody for being dull on this fucking island?
There's nothing to do, and there's nothing new ever happens. Nobody new comes to town.
But that's the thing. The only way in order to get interesting, let's say, is to do something radical, which is what he does later on in the movie. But in her case, she imports it. She brings in books. She buys things to help educate herself that you can't get anywhere else.
And she kind of gave up on trying to get her brother to do any of that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Clearly. Like, she's just like, no, sweet, stupid boy. Let me just cuddle you and make you feel better. It's all gonna be okay.
I love how there are like 2 or 3 times in the movie where people say words that he doesn't understand the meaning of.
And she knows, or she's correcting men because they think they're, high and mighty and learned, and she knows more than all of them.
Yes.
There are just little moments where she just kind of corrects them.
She's very much the most interesting character in the movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then you've got Dominic, who's the real, what do you call him? The village idiot, I guess.
I think he's smarter than what everybody thinks he is.
He is, because, like, he says touche, and even fucking Colin Farrell doesn't know what that is.
Oh, it's French. Oh, I don't.
And he doesn't explain it. He just says, it's from the French.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody explains these words to him. He just says, well, I don't know what that means.
And he doesn't press for more. He's not interested in learning more.
Yeah, he's just not hungry for knowledge. He's just going throughout his day. And again, I get it. You are boring. You are dull.
But he points out his own stupidity. Like, he knows he doesn't know it, but he doesn't want to know it.
Yeah, he's not interested.
Yeah, meanwhile, his best friend has, like, masks and puppets and a Victrola, and he's got this interesting little house full of knickknacks.
And no one asks him about any of it.
No.
It's like,
nobody gives a shit.
He would be the town eccentric, except he is one of them.
He's exactly like everyone.
And he could also try to maybe introduce some of these weird things that he's gotten from foreign lands, but he doesn't even do that. He's just keeping to himself.
Mm-hmm. But going back to Dominic, so you're right. I think he probably is smarter than he lets on, but he's kind of got... He's got a bad home life.
He's at a disadvantage.
A disadvantage, and he clearly is not learned because he's like, when he finds out his sister likes books, he goes, "Oh, writing, reading. Oh, I don't know about that." Yeah. Like this is still, it's fascinating to me. 100 years ago, how many people still couldn't read?
Yeah.
Even 100 years ago.
That's just a concept that is just beyond them.
Yeah, now it seems unfathomable that people don't know how to read. Like, as a society, we've just decided everyone is gonna figure this out. Like, you are in the ultra minority if you can't. Yeah. But in 1923, dime a dozen.
Only a slight aside here. Did you see any children anywhere on the island?
There were no children on this island.
None.
Not even in church.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't see any of them in church or even walking to the church.
Everybody's kind of alone. Like, you don't even really see couples. You see the old woman at the store, the old woman wandering around in a black cloak looking menacing all the time.
God.
Everybody is by themselves. I didn't notice that, but now that you say that and I'm thinking about it, I can't recall seeing a couple. There's not a family. No, if we did, we just missed it, but it's very rare if it was there. Yeah, so this is just a weird little island, this weird little place. Dominic has like a terrible father who beats him.
He's the cop as well.
He's the cop, and he's a shit. Uh-huh. And he's clearly had this fucked up upbringing. Did you notice, of course, the parallel at the beginning of the movie when he's first introduced? He's like, "I found this stick." He's excited about this hook, which is a fishing hook, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's used to pull things in from the water." And of course, the big thing at the end of the movie, he is in the water, and he is pulled out by that hook. So yeah, there's a lot of fucking thought out things in this movie that, that were not mistakes. That's kind of it for like the main characters that you see a lot. Everybody else is just like the colorful village folk. Yeah. You've got the guy who plays the fiddle, the woman who sings in the band, the bartender, the guy who's always hanging out at the bar.
Yeah.
And they're all just the same. They all talk bullshit. Like, you're not dull, but...
Yeah, you're what do they say? You're one of life's good guys. And, like, that's, like, the best and worst thing you could say to someone.
Yeah, you're just, like, white bread, basically.
You're just a guy.
You're just a guy.
There's nothing special about you.
Nope.
There's nothing negative about you that I can really say.
You're just nice.
Yeah.
Like, nice is the kiss of death for some people because they want to be defined as anything interesting. Like, if you're trying to describe somebody and all you can come up with is nice and you cannot come up with any other descriptors, they're probably not that interesting.
And you know what? Sometimes that's okay.
Sometimes it is okay. But it does make them somewhat dull.
You're right.
They could be the nicest person in the world, so polite to you, you will never have anything but nice things to say about them, but they're easy to forget.
Yes.
So then we get to the main crux of this, which is you've got this guy who is transcended, as you said, the friendship. He just wants peace and silence, and Colin Farrell's character, being a relentless, stupid man boy, cannot understand that he's being serious. And it doesn't matter how much he ups the ante. He still keeps thinking he's like cracking the facade. Right. He thinks, I've made some baby steps, some progress forward.
Right.
Our friendship is getting back on track. I'm not giving up on this friendship. And he just keeps pushing to the point, as I said in the introduction, that Colm says, "I'm gonna cut off my fingers one at a time and send them to your house."
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do. And he's a musician. And he's gonna start with his fiddling hand.
And if you really care about me, if you think that you're my friend, and vice versa and whatever else, you won't do that. You won't force me to do that, but I'm telling you I'm going to do it. And then he does it.
And this is, of course, knowing that piece that he's in despair.
Yeah.
This is the depression, the little part of his brain that his intrusive thoughts is clearly taking over to some extent.
Oh, yeah.
That he is willing to go that far for his own peace of mind. Like in modern times,
This
he would
commitment.
he'd be committed, or he would have lots of medication and a therapist. But he doesn't have any of that. He is not going to have any of that. He says to the priest, I'm not doing anything about it. I am not going to.
Yeah.
This is what he wants. He wants peace and quiet.
And I think maybe the priest is kind of warning him. He says, you're not going to do anything about that, are you? I think he's talking about him committing suicide. I believe that's what he's talking about.
You could interpret that two ways.
Yeah.
He said something about despair, and he's like,
you're
not addressing the despair.
Yeah. Are you going to make it better, or are you going to make it much, much worse?
Yeah, you're right. There's kind of two ways to read that
That's
line.
how I read it.
Interesting. Yeah, we had different interpretations of that. I thought the way I heard it was, you are sad, and you're just gonna be sad. You're not gonna change anything about that. You're not gonna address it.
Right.
And his answer is nope.
Well, and that's, again, when he says, I'm not going to address it, meaning I'm not going to follow through on the despair of it telling me that I don't need to be here.
Yeah, again.
That's how I took that.
Oh, I love it, Trent. This is fun. I like this conversation. Because I didn't take it that way, but I completely see how you could. So he doesn't take a hint, and finally he gets drunk one night and confronts him in the bar, because earlier in the movie he says the only time Colm likes Parik is when he's drunk, because he lets loose and he says interesting things. That's the only time he likes him. So he confronts him in the bar, and he says, that's the most interesting he has ever been.
I kind of like him again.
But in the morning, he apologizes, and he's right back to being a dullard. And this is the kind of movie where you're like, is he really good? When he says he's going to cut off his fingers, is he really? Or is this just a threat? So I wasn't that surprised, but also I was completely shocked when he actually cut off his finger and he threw it at the door. There is just a thud as a bird flying into a window. And there is a bloody stump of an index finger on his front stoop. And he just goes about his life. He doesn't bandage it up. He's dripping blood everywhere, walking back to his house like it's nothing.
I don't really... Man, I was not surprised, because he said it with such conviction that it really seems like this is the path that he is going to go on. And I don't know how else I can get it through your head, you in particular, that this is going to happen if you continue this path.
But you could understand why you would believe he maybe wasn't serious, because up to this point, they've had a few conversations. Since he made that threat, they've talked a few times and he hasn't done it.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, maybe he was just being really over the top to get his point across. But yeah, when he does it, it's like, no.
Well,
he means it.
Hey, anybody can have second thoughts about such a thing, but you get pushed into a corner, you're going to do something drastic. And that's what he did.
And he's so, pardon the pun, detached from the situation.
Sure.
That he's like, I mean, it hurt at first, but now I don't even notice it. I'm sorry, you play the fiddle with that hand.
He's very far gone at this point, in that he is committed to this path of his life. He can enjoy all of the different things that we already mentioned, the music and the poetry and whatever else.
He can still play the fiddle with 4 fingers.
He can still play the fiddle with 4 fingers. He's still got a stump. He can secure it with that. It's fine. But then it gets all the way bad, and he cuts the other 4 off of his hand.
At once.
In
one go.
Yeah.
He chucks them all at the door. And again,
one by one,
walking down the street. And they're just in his pockets.
Sure.
Filling his pockets with thumbs. It's great. And he's just walking down the road, pale because he's losing so much fucking blood.
Yeah, he was pale anyway.
And he's got this stump hand. And he just looks him dead in the eyes. Like, this is what you did. You did this, and I'm moving on with my life now. And the next time we see him, he is in the pub holding on to his fiddle with what stump of a hand he has, and blood is flying everywhere as he waves it around.
It's spurting out of his fucking stump. And
everybody else just keeps playing, not knowing how to react to this.
Right. He's just shaking his violin in the beat
conducting
of the song of the other students that are playing, and they're just letting him go with it.
Yeah.
Also, he's drinking. You really should not drink when you are bleeding profusely.
No. That's a bad idea. Real bad. But this is where it really goes off the rails, because up until this point, Parek is just like, I don't understand this. We have been best friends forever. You are my friend. I'm going to make you be my friend. I don't understand. He's very hurt. Yeah, he just keeps...
For good reason.
And he's trying different tactics. He's trying to be polite. He apologizes.
He's trying to be a dick.
He tries to be a dick a few times, like a kick down the door and like say my piece sort of thing.
But then he is nice again and asks, oh, how's the tune coming?
Yeah. But where it really goes off the rails is after he throws 4 fingers at him, he comes home to find his dear beloved toy donkey has tried to eat a finger and it choked on it and died.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that basically transforms Parek from the guy who is really boring to the guy that Colm actually finds interesting. Like, once they become mortal enemies, this is the guy he actually would like to be friends with. So when he marches into the bar and he's like, listen, let's call it square now. You know, I've cut off my fingers. Let's end it we're done. You know, we're good now.
But no, you killed my donkey.
No, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
This is not the end. This is the start.
Yes. And so the next time I have an interaction with you, it is going to be on Sunday,
tomorrow.
God's Day. I'm going to go to church, and at 2:00, the normal time, we're going to go to the public house. I'm going to go to your house, and I'm going to start it on fire. Please leave your dog outside.
That dog never did anything.
If you happen to be in the house, great. If you happen to be out of the house, great. I don't care. I'm going to set your house on fire.
That is what's happening at 2:00 tomorrow. And there's this great parallel shot where at the beginning of the movie, the first shot, when he goes to his house and knocks on the window, he's looking through the window and he sees him sitting there smoking a cigarette. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the movie, he's lighting the house on fire and he sees him in the house smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
And he is so carefree about the fact his house is burning down that he's just letting it happen.
This is fine.
He has
it's the "this is fine" meme. I need to see a new one of those with this scene.
He has accepted this as his fate.
Or not. He throws the chair out of the window and he escapes.
But we don't find that out later.
Yeah, charred the fuck up.
Yes.
And yeah, he decides that his life is still worth living. He still wants to be able to enjoy things. He still wants to feud with his friend. Yeah, that's him not following through on the despair. So, in reality, there's a good message in this.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, he kind of has somehow backed out of that despair because you're right, he decided to choose life. He decided to live. And he even says, thanks for looking after my dog. Right. And even he, who is like, this is never going to be over. We're going to have this forever. Like, they're talking about the Civil War across the way, and they're talking about their own Civil War. Mm-hmm. And he says some things are never going to be forgotten. That ship might be stopped, but it's never over. Same thing here. It might be stopped, but it's never over.
But then he also looks back at him and says, yeah, anytime. I'll take care of your dog anytime. Yeah. He's a great dog.
So they're still friends at the end of this movie, but they now hate each other. But they love each other.
All they have are themselves now.
Yeah, because his donkey's dead. His sister left. Dominic drowned in the lake. He's got nothing.
Yeah.
And he is a miserable, broken little man.
And, you know, talking about the whole despair thing, Colin Farrell's character is just devastated most of the movie. There's hardly any happy moments with him. He is fighting with himself. He's fighting with his sister. He's fighting with his friend. He's fighting with the kid. He's fighting with everybody because he doesn't understand why anybody wouldn't want to be friends with him, and he's not looking at himself.
And it's that thing of a small town lifestyle. He has a very tiny bubble.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's probably never felt this emotion before. Mm-hmm. Rejection is not a thing that you feel when you live in a town of like 200 people, maybe.
Sure.
There's probably 200 people on that island.
Yeah.
It's
Everybody
small.
tolerates you because they have to.
Because it's not worth fighting. Why would we fight? There's no point. I just want the gossip. Like, oh, this happened over there and ha ha ha. And it's so great because like literally there's a lot of symbolism. At the beginning of the movie, the first shot, there's a fucking rainbow and he's smiling and almost skipping.
Say, hello.
Life is good. I live in this beautiful little island and there's fishermen and birds and rainbows.
The literal rainbow. I never thought of that until now. That this is just this ideal small town life, so to speak.
Yep.
And he gets to the end of his road, so to speak, again, and he finds conflict. There's not supposed to be conflict in my life. I don't know how to deal with this. He's not an adult. And by the end of it, I think he does become an adult. He's making some very poor decisions on how he gets there, but he gets there.
Trent, name me an adult who didn't make a lot of bad decisions on their road to adulting.
Yeah.
Two of us, presently speaking, could have our fair share of, well, that was a bad life choice. I'm going to file that one away and remember it for later.
Yeah, you're right.
On my road to a successful human being.
We all have to get there eventually. Nobody comes out fully formed.
Well, and nobody reaches perfection either.
No.
And that's the thing about these two guys. You've got this guy who's older, who is trying to not perfect, but improve himself and his life.
Yeah.
And he wants to leave something
He wants to be more.
He wants to have a legacy.
Yeah.
This fucking nobody on an island has no legacy. Who's going to remember him? The woman at the gossip at the general store?
Yeah.
She'll probably talk about you for like 2 days. Oh, he died. What else is new? Give me the new...
Burned up.
Yeah. If there had been a fire and he died, that would have been the most interesting thing that had probably happened on that island in 50 years.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just herd your cows that way, that cop's a dick, there's nothing going on here, we bring in the priest on Sunday and then he goes home.
And then sometimes there's a civil war in your backyard.
But we don't have to worry about that because we live on the island.
Right.
We're just islanders.
Yeah.
It's a very different lifestyle. And there's still a lot of people who live this kind of life where it's just, this is my community. I can walk end to end the entire island and that's it. That's my existence. Those are the borders of what I know and understand and all I want to know and understand. So for Colm to say, fuck you, fuck this life, he and Siobhan have the same sort of mentality, but the difference is she fucks right off and leaves.
Yeah,
like
she gets an opportunity here and takes advantage when, I mean, I don't know really what the impetus was for her to finally say yes, but maybe she finally got a really, really good job offer that she could not say no to.
Maybe. And even there's a letter he gets near the end of the movie where she says, there's an extra bed, come with me. And he says, no, my life is here.
Yeah.
Why? He could just fucking leave. Like, that's the whole thing. In modern days, you could just go to another town. If your friend isn't your friend anymore, fucking move.
Yeah.
Like, if you're so miserable seeing them all the time, live somewhere else. It's not hard.
But it's such a scary thing for a guy like this who has never known anything else. Like I said, she's bringing in the outside world with her books so she can have a vision of what the outside world actually is.
But she can't inspire him to do the same.
No, because he's so down in the dumps and stuck in his rut.
Yeah.
Man.
He likes his routine.
Yeah.
And his best friends are animals.
Routines are a bitch and a half to get rid of, I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
I am to the point where this is up there with, like, I've talked about the movie Her, and I had a big emotional reaction to that movie. I didn't have nearly as much of a reaction to this one, but this really touches me in an emotional place where, damn, I can really identify with his rejection, his feeling of, I don't know how to react to this. This is a new thing for me. How would anybody not like me? I'm the nicest person in the world. That's not enough. It's really not enough. Everything is a two-way street. You can't just be a nice guy and not reciprocate what the other person actually needs.
Yes, relationships are two-way streets. You have to listen and speak and
Yeah.
hear. You can't just, you have to hear them. There's a
Right.
difference between listening and hearing.
And really, his thing is not because they're friends. His thing is, I'm going to go out to the pub with this guy and talk to him for 2 hours.
Talk at him.
Talk at him for 2 hours, and he's just there. There's no reciprocation here. Colm, I don't really think gets much out of it, and he's getting less and less because it's the same old bullshit all the time.
But there's also clear signs that they actually are friends and he does care. So like when he gets socked in the jaw by the cop,
Yeah.
he's down on the ground. Who comes along? Colm. He could have walked away.
Yeah,
he could have just fucked right off.
He picks him up, he puts him back into his cart, and
he
drives him
halfway home.
halfway home. And of course, we have the metaphor right there.
Yep, the road.
The
fork.
road parting, and they're going in their separate directions. Yeah, I think Colin Farrell does an amazing job in this movie. Just him going through these emotions and just the facial expressions that
The eyebrows.
Well, the eyebrows are there for a specific reason because, hey, you're not going to trim your eyebrows in the 1920s.
Well, that and those are just his eyebrows.
That's what I mean. Normally, they're a lot more trimmed. But
No,
anyway,
they're not. He just looks like this.
He looked really different in this movie.
I think it's more just two things.
It is the eyebrows.
The styling of his hair and clothes. And he's just,
Sure,
he's
but
gotten
I'm
older.
saying
He looks more mature in this movie than he has looked
his
of late.
face is definitely different than the last time I've seen him in a movie for sure. But just him sitting there in the dark and pouting. He's pouting.
He's
in this
absolutely pouting.
movie. Yeah. And
Trying to work out a problem.
yeah, it's not just him at home. It's he goes to the pub anyway, and he tries to like complain to the bartender, complain to the other guy, and yeah, he's just being a little shit. And I was a little shit for a long time. And you know, you have to mature, you have to develop your own way of dealing with these kinds of emotions. And he hasn't gotten there until the very end of the movie.
And he's never had boundaries before, and nobody
Yeah.
has set boundaries.
Nobody's told him no.
And the only person setting boundaries is his sister. Sure. Again, like, don't bring the fucking donkey in the house. I'm not gonna leave the donkey outside when I'm sad.
Oh, best line in the movie. I love that.
That was great. There was also the scene where when Colm is making a new friend with the student musician,
Right.
Parek pulls him over on the side of the road and feeds him a line. Oh, there's a urgent
There's a
telegram.
telegram.
Your father's been hit by a bread truck.
Your mother. There's something wrong with your mother. Oh, my mom's dead.
Oh, did I say your mother? I meant it was your auntie contacting us about your father. He's been hit by a bread truck and you have to go. He might not survive. And of course, the funniest bit is he says,
Oh, people get hit by bread trucks all the time.
That's how my mother died.
I would know. That's how my mother died. If it's the same bread truck, I'm going to kill the man.
Which is just this moment where Parek is trying to be a different person and is the meanest thing he has ever done.
Even Dominic says that.
He doesn't even understand how mean a thing he did.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like
you make another person that you've never met before think that their parent has died.
Just because
or
you don't
injured somehow.
Because you don't like him making friends with your friend who doesn't want to be your friend.
Honing in on your territory.
Yes. That's a fucking childish thing to do.
It is.
Like, I'm sensing a theme here. Like, if you remember watching In Bruges, this one, they have a very similar streak of these are man boys. Like, they haven't quite grown up. They have some very childish tendencies.
Yeah, and the other one is the more mature one who is not quite looking out for him, but he's at least there to make sure he doesn't fuck up royally.
Mm-hmm. But you just get fed up with being someone's babysitter after a while.
Yeah.
Like, I
think that's kind of what it was, too.
Like I said, everybody in this movie is wrong, but everybody in this movie is right.
Yeah.
It's just that the three main people who are in this little triangle of the sister trying to intervene with everybody, once she removes herself, it comes to a head.
Yeah.
Like, the sister is, like, keeping the peace for as much as she can, but finally gets so fed up, she's like, fuck it all, I'm leaving.
As soon as she's gone, yeah, everything kind of blows up.
Yeah, her brother does something incredibly stupid, but the situation resolves itself.
And that's the thing about this island, Betsy. There are no consequences.
There really aren't. Like, even when the cop is about to come to his house, something pulls him away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we haven't talked about this old woman. We have to talk about the old woman.
I don't really want to talk about the other old
I
woman.
think we
what
have
the hell?
to. So there is just this creepy old lady who kind of wanders from place to place, and she's just sort of there in the background, and sometimes she's not even in focus, but you know that's her.
Yeah.
Like when he's on the cliff, there's a figure in the background near him, and it's clearly her.
Out of focus,
Yeah.
but you know it's her because
you
she's
know.
everywhere else.
And she's just this specter of doom and gloom, and she's sort of prophesizing like...
She says there's going to be one death or maybe 2.5 deaths, which is exactly what happened.
Or she kind of plants thoughts in his head, like she's just there. Like, she has the stick. She's the one carrying around that stick. It's like she's stoking the embers to start shit, because she's fucking bored. That is the role she has taken, is an agent of chaos.
Yeah, and like
genuinely, the first time she shows up, like, she says, "Oh, so you're not having a good time with him anymore." Who told you that? She did. Like, just to start shit between him and his sister.
Yeah. And that's probably going to be like the lady in the market. That's going to be her eventually.
Yeah,
because
once this old lady dies.
Yeah, she's just the town gossip who wants to know everybody's business. And she's probably, once she retires, she's going to become that.
Yeah, and this old lady is probably just somebody's wife, and they died, so now she just wanders
around
and starts shit. Which, I respect that.
Sure. What else are you going to do?
I can respect your desire to stoke the flames, but yeah, she's a weird character. And I'm sure there is a much deeper metaphor that I haven't discovered yet as to who she is and why she's there.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I feel like we need to bring up there's a creepy old lady who just kind of spouts off prophecies.
Well, Betsy, I think she is the Banshee.
So to speak.
Yeah.
We were both kind of right.
She's not a screaming banshee, but she's around there just telling people their business.
Yeah, we were both kind of right in the beginning. So it is the name of the island, but he also, Colm is composing a song, and he calls the song The Banshees of Inisherin. So it is sort of a story, a tale, but in the form of music.
Indeed.
And they have an argument about, well, there aren't any banshees in Inisherin. Nope, they just sit back and enjoy the chaos. So you're right. That's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah. All right, Betsy. Before we get into the Oscar stuff, did you have anything else to talk about?
Just mostly the way they speak in this movie. Obviously, everybody has very heavy accents at some time. It's mostly intelligible. There are a few times it gets a little tricky.
We did not have subtitles on.
We could have, but we didn't. We made it through. It's just the way they end sentences like, "I'll see you down there, so." Like, they end sentences with "so," "like," and "yeah."
It's like the cliche of Canadians saying "a" at the end of every sentence.
Something like that. It's their own regional dialects. It's like, "You had enough, yeah?
Yeah.
Gonna see you down there, so. What is that like?" And maybe that's where that comes from.
Could be. I don't know.
Where they just were using "like," and then it expanded from there. Like, because they just say it excessively in this movie, where every sentence ends with a word that it shouldn't end with.
And maybe it's because I've listened to a lot of Irish people in my life. Maybe that's just, okay, this is the thing that I hear at the end of an Irish person talking. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all just regional dialect, and it's a fascinating thing. And if you've not explored the wonderful world of dialects, go online, go to YouTube.
We've talked about this guy before.
I'm going to bring him up again. Eric Singer?
Eric Singer.
Eric Singer. There's a guy called Eric Singer, and he is a dialect coach, and it is just 20, 30 minutes of just him explaining how language works.
Per episode.
It's great. Check it out, because you get the minute differences between somebody who's in Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland.
He also does stuff about the U.S. as well, about like regional dialects of, okay, this part of this...
like fucking Roanoke Island is like a really specific dialect in America, but you've never probably heard it before.
Sure, and like you have there's so many different regions, like all of the Northeast accents, all of the Southern accents, because there's not just one Southern accent.
No, and all of the pools of different kinds of people and languages that created this language.
And how people migrated and how this thing turned into this way of speaking for this type of person as people moved west.
Right. And to bring it back to the movie, being on an island, you'd have your own dialect and it would change very little over a long time because you don't have new people coming in and you don't have people leaving, which means the language stays the same.
And when you leave, you probably will conform to whatever you're moving into.
Yeah, you lose your language.
Yeah. Or at least you lose part of your accent. You're never going to lose your accent completely, but you lose part of it.
It does go away more when you're not around it.
Yeah, you know plenty of Bostonites that when you were going to college with them, they kind of lost it, but they can, on a dime, turn it back on.
They can turn it on and off.
I love that. I love that. Especially people who when they get drunk, the accents start coming out. It's amazing. We got a friend who is like very much the northern Minnesota type.
Oh my
God. We have lots of friends like that who have those accents. It's a real thing, guys. The Fargo accent is real.
It gets real.
Yeah, the Fargo accent is very much real. You just might have to get a little tipsy first. But all right, let's talk Oscars here. We already said this is going to be nominated for Best Picture. I have no doubt about that after watching this.
Definitely.
Yeah. Same thing with The Fabelmans. No doubt about that one. As far as other things here, I think direction would be another one that is up there for me.
Certainly on the short list.
Yeah, there is a lot of complicated things here between these guys and just making sure that you are weaving everything in so you know where everybody is standing, I guess.
Yep. Then you've got acting. I think because they got nominated for Golden Globes, it's probably likely that all three of these people will get nominated for Academy Awards. Colin Farrell is actually right now, it's down to him and Brendan Fraser. When I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Best Actor, it's going to come down to those two guys.
Yeah.
And I would be thrilled with either of them.
Sure.
But I've talked about it many a time, as we have covered Colin Farrell a few times. I'm a fan. I would not be upset. I would be thrilled if he won for this movie because he does a great job in this.
And I don't really think The Whale is going to be nominated for Best Picture, but he is absolutely going to be nominated for Best Actor.
And then if we see that one, once we see it, we can kind of compare and see where we land on that.
Sure.
But as far as who it's coming down to, it's most likely those two. I'm assuming Brendan Gleeson will probably get nominated in the supporting category.
That's where I would say, yeah.
Even though they kind of have equal screen time.
They would at the very least submit him for the supporting because you never want to have the same two actors from the same movie in the same category. It doesn't work out.
You put them in the one you think they can win, and in this scenario, one is definitely the lead and one is the supporting. And the sister, I think, will probably get nominated for Best Supporting.
Yeah, I would say
she's maybe a little bit more of the long shot of the group.
And she doesn't do as much, but she's good.
But she's really good at this. Screenplay, I would assume, is probably going to be...
It's a lot of dialogue.
It's interesting as fuck. Like I said, not everyone's cup of tea, but you cannot deny this is an interesting movie.
Well, I'll tell you this. As far as dialogue of the 1920s in Ireland...
It's a very specific type of writing.
It's a very specific kind of writing, and good God, do they swear a lot.
They do. They do that. Yeah. This director likes curse words.
And that's okay. I mean, that part of the world is full of people who are really good at cursing.
They're much more free and less uptight than Americans. But yeah, I think definitely a writing nod. I would think potentially cinematography, just because it's a lot of natural light and there's just these sweeping, beautiful shots in this movie.
Lately, those are the movies that are winning. It's not like the big epics that are winning cinematography. Nomadland, I think, won for cinematography a couple of years ago, and that was just landscapes. It was natural lighting, sunsets, sunrises, dusk, dawn, all the stuff outside.
But it made you feel things.
It did. And I think in this one, I wanted to stop a couple of times just to marvel And this has nothing to do with like shooting the movie. It's just, these are gorgeous landscapes.
Where they live is,
oh my God.
They don't appreciate where they live.
We don't have that stuff around here.
No, like the cliffs and the ocean and the sand and the hills and the
sky
and the water.
the fact that the sun is that in that part of the sky, man, I was just marveling at the entire thing.
So yes, I think we would really like that to be at least recognized.
Sure.
It's possible costumes, if you want to get into some of the more technical things.
Any kind of period piece is very much in the running. I don't think there's anything really special about it, other than the fact that this is a small island with people who don't really have a lot. So
yeah, his sister wears the same shirt half the movie.
Yeah.
Because she owns one shirt.
Yeah.
He owns one shirt. Or they maybe have two, like they have their everyday clothes and they have their Sunday clothes, and that's it.
Well, even Colin Farrell came into the pub wearing like a nice suit when he was going to go and threaten to burn his house down.
Yeah. He dressed up for the occasion.
He did.
So there may be some other technical things. You can never really tell with like sound and editing what's going to get in here. This one is not so much about sound as the absence of sound.
Yeah.
But maybe editing. That's always kind of a weird one. I never quite know what's going to get thrown in there. But I would say this is going to get nominated for somewhere at least 5. I would go I think I feel pretty confident saying
the same thing about Fabelmans.
Shut up. 5 or 6. I think it's a nice safe number. And these days, most movies don't get nominated for 11 awards. They're pretty rare these days.
And because this one is like way at the top of everybody's list right now, you're going to get a lot of attention on these guys.
It's possible it will get more. I'm just not as well versed in those other kinds of categories, the sound, the editing, those sort of things.
Well,
to feel as confident.
This kind of movie isn't going to need that.
No.
Just because there's not a lot of complicated things happening on screen. You don't need to use your surround sound to really tell the audience where things are coming from, and you're not going to get any of those nods on this movie.
Thank you for limiting the thing with the fingers to the thud on the door.
Foley work, that's tough to do.
How do we produce the sound of a finger being thrown against a wooden door?
Well, it's still got the bone inside, and
it's squidgy.
It's
and
actually
bloody.
Got some heft to it because it's a big guy, and it's
the logistics of how should this sound? Someone had to come up with that sound, Trent.
Those are props. Those are real things.
God, I hope so.
Brendan Gleeson, you deserve the Oscar if you followed through on that threat all the way.
Also, that looked good for being, clearly he didn't really cut off his finger. He just has a stump. But the way they edited it was well done. Like when it's his full hand, you could tell it's a prosthetic.
You could tell that
it's
he's
a lot
holding
more,
on to something.
Yes, that's a lot worse. But when it's just one, it's like, wow, that's upsetting me because it looks really good.
I don't think there's really any kind of CG in this movie, but if there is...
the entire CG budget went to his finger. His severed stump of a finger.
And all the blood. Yeah. Speaking of Brendan Gleeson, at the end of the credits, he actually wrote and performed the Banshees of Inisherin song. That's his. That's him.
He actually composed it.
And he performed it, yes.
Well,
that's
okay,
all
then.
him. It's credited to him.
I did not know he even played, but that makes sense because at the beginning of the movie, I was like, it sure looks like he's playing.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah,
I learned something new today.
It was all him. All right, Betsy, let's end this thing with an email. We've been holding on to this one for a few weeks.
Why?
For good reason, because
what?
We're going to talk about In Bruges.
That's crazy.
We got an email from Stephanie
what
about
this. What a
coincidence. In Bruges, this movie is wonderful. I saw this shortly after college, so probably 2010-ish. It is great. I also love 7 Psychopaths, and you should watch it now.
Okay.
We haven't seen it, so it's on the list. I think this definitely warrants another viewing. The acting is so good, I love the random conversations, and I think the writing is great. And this last thing is, what do you think at the end of the movie? Do you think he actually dies, or does he survive? She says, I do think Ray dies, but I like to think he moves on from Bruges. Love you guys from superfan Stephanie. So yeah, at the end of the movie, he says, well, if I do die, I really hope that hell isn't just what Bruges is.
Just death for an eternity in Bruges.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed this one too. That one a lot more than this one, from like an entertainment standpoint.
Oh yeah, that one is funnier in the sense that there's a lot more lighthearted humor.
Yeah.
And just like weird humor. This one,
Banshees is funny. I laughed a lot.
This one, they're more like deeply tormented souls.
Yeah.
And the humor is there, but it's coming from such a dark place. You almost feel bad laughing, like I said.
That's the thing. I like this kind of humor.
That's
me.
I do too.
That's
I do.
me.
Like anything worth taking seriously is worth making fun of. Like that's kind of my philosophy.
Totally.
It's just your own humor and what the line is. People are trying to find that line.
Yeah.
And try not to cross it.
All right, Betsy, let's cross the line into the end of the episode. If you would like to be like Stephanie and all of our other emailers, there are other emailers, I promise you. Email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com and you can be one of them. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. That is Never Seen It Pod 1 there. We post every single day, whether it's podcast day or any other random thing that Betsy decides to put up there.
Yeah!
We're also on Twitter. That one is Never Seen It _pod there. Post the same stuff on there. If and when Twitter decides to collapse, you gotta fall back.
There's other social media platforms.
Indeed. If you would like to support the show, help pay for us to actually go and see some of these movies that are going to be coming out in the theater, popcorn is expensive. Click the link in the podcast description to go to the Anchor page. You can figure it out from there. It'll take your card and it's
et cetera, et cetera.
You know, you're smart people. You can figure it out. We're going to be wrapping up our holiday series coming up this weekend. And at least we're going to have a lot more Oscar stuff coming eventually. I don't know when that's going to be because holidays are coming up, and we've also got our award show coming up at the end of the year, January 1st. I believe that's a Sunday as well. That is going to be our second annual award show, so tune in for that. We're changing it up a little bit this year. We're going to have some new awards.
New awards!
And it's going to be really fun.
No actual awards will be handed out.
Stop saying that.
I don't have a physical award to give anybody. There's no budget for this.
Accolades, that's all you get from us. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Betsy, for being here and being my co-host every single episode. This has been Never Seen It. We will catch you next time.
Bye, guys.